drove a stake through the heart of the McCain machine.
Welcome back to Square Off. That was Kari Lake last August, days after winning the Republican primary for governor. The question we asked on Square Off at that time was, could she unify the party? We saw how that worked out in November. Now, a new Lake campaign for the U.S. Senate and the same question. Lake wants to build bridges to fellow Republicans who want nothing to do with her. Are they bridges to nowhere? We're back with Christine Jones, an attorney and former Republican candidate for governor, and Stacy Pearson, a Democratic consultant and co-founder of Lumen Strategies. How's that for timing, huh? Give Kari Lake credit for apparently realizing she needs to reach out to Republicans if she wants to win an election, a statewide in Arizona, or maybe her consultants have helped her realize that. Initial reports are it's not going well. Former Republican candidate for governor Matt Salmon said this to Yvonne Wingett-Sanchez at the Washington Post, quote, "Short of an engraved apology, I wouldn't consider helping her with anything." How different is the bridge building Lake is trying to do now from what she tried to do, if she even tried it, a year ago?
So I certainly didn't hear any reports of her trying a year ago. And Matt Salmon's quote is an example of what a point of pride it's become to tell her to go pound sand. And these are Republican leaders who say, there's the door, don't let it hit ya. And this has been fascinating to watch. I don't know if this is going to be good for Mark Lamb, if this is going to be good for Senator Sinema, or for candidate Gallego. But it certainly is a shift, and many of these Republicans were not as vocal in this last cycle against Kari Lake as they are today.
Pinal County Sheriff Mark Lamb is her only real primary opponent. How do you think it's going for Kari Lake?
Well, I would give credit where credit's due. It is something that she should be doing, and she has reached out and she has sat down with some of the people. Some of them have said, no thank you, I don't want to meet. And you know, look, having been on the receiving side of a lot of those attacks, I can tell you some of those wounds take time to heal. And so Karen Taylor Robeson, who is a real class act, sat down with her and said, you know, I'm just not ready. You know, will there ever be a time when a Karen Taylor Robeson or a Matt Salmon will stand on a stage with Kari and actually hold hands and say, I affirmatively, unequivocally endorse you? Maybe not in this cycle. But I think you have to keep in mind, some of those people will be hard-pressed to vote for the other person, to vote for a Democrat, or even a self-identifying independent who's a former Democrat. So the results of the ultimate poll, the day of the election, may be slightly different than what we're seeing in terms of the people who are unwilling to endorse her.
And I'll just add this, I find that interesting because for me, this election, for Donald Trump and Kari Lake, these are foundational issues. They are challenging the foundation of our constitutional democracy, attacking elections, attacking the free press, attacking the rule of law. So I hear the wounds talk. To me, this isn't about healing wounds. There's some bigger decisions these folks would have to make before they go over to Kari Lake's side. And folks, you'll be hearing that a lot from me in this coming year.
Agree.
So get used to it. Let's move on. The Republicans, led by far-right State Senator Jake Hoffman, want to impeach Democratic Attorney General Kris Mayes, or at least they're talking about it because she charged two Cochise County supervisors with felonies for interfering in the 2022 election. Do they have a leg to stand on with an impeachment?
Of course not. But this is a great publicity opportunity for our Attorney General. And what we're going to see is a guy that wears a tinfoil hat and try to overturn the results of a free and fair election, trying to impeach the woman who could potentially prosecute him for being a fake elector. Conflicted much?
And that's far-right State Senator Jake Hoffman in our legislature was having a freak out on Twitter about this. I would add that Ken Chesbrough, the architect of the fake elector scheme, is expected to be talking to Kris Mayes investigators this coming week about what went down in Arizona. Does that really tell you that's what's going on here? It
does seem like maybe a head fake or, you know, squirrel moment. But I think Stacy's point is excellent, which is this is going to be accruing to Kris Mayes' benefit. And the impeachment, even if for some reason the legislature entertained this, okay, there's no possible way that the legislature is going to support this by a 2/3 majority. So it is much ado about nothing. And on the conflict issue, if you really believed that these county supervisors had done something wrong and prosecuting them really was an impeachable offense, Jake, have somebody else lead this charge. Have somebody who's not an alternate elector and whose name didn't appear on the Trump ballot go do this work for you, because there is no possible way you can do this with integrity.
Got to end it there. Christine Jones, Stacy Pearson, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Brad.